Rittman had a long tenure as the head coach of Stanford before taking over this Clemson program as the first ever head coach. First pitch in for a ball. Elkins, Jordan mentioned it, coming off a no-hitter against Canisius. Second in her young career, just a sophomore. 1-0 pitch. Called strike one, count even, 1-1.
Yeah, Elkins on a no-hitter, 7 innings, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 8 punch-outs against Canisius, her second of her career, just a year after she did it against St. John's down in Georgia. The sophomore from Nitro, West Virginia, gets settled in here.
Brown shows bunt, lays off. 2023 All-ACC second-team selection. This Clemson program has obviously risen very fast, 9th in the country. They were 7 a week ago. A loss to Mississippi State brought them down. Bunt showed again, fouled off by Brown. 2 balls, 2 strikes here. Also, remember that new 20-second pitch clock. Don't see it behind, but it is on the scoreboard. You'll see it there to the right of your screen. Fouled off again by Brown. Keeps the count at 2-2.
Yeah, interesting to see Coach Ashley Chastain going to Lena Elkins once again. This is her 5th start of the year. And only their 10th game so far, so we'll see her a lot more. Seen her a lot more starting games than Sam Gress as opposed to last year. Gress more in a...
And a strikeout for Elkins, picking up where she left off in her last start.
Yeah, big punch out there for the righty from Nitro.
Number 7, Mackenzie Clark.
Only right past the leadoff batter, Alex Brown.
Charlotte with some good pitching themselves this year. Lena Elkins expected to step up as a quick hit by pitch is gonna put Mackenzie Clark, the senior center fielder, on first base. It looks like she got hit in that right toe. Limps it off on the way to first.
The first baseman, number 72.
No pinch runner coming in at the moment, so they move third batter in the lineup. Valerie Cagle, a name people are all too familiar with in the world of college softball. As Cagle sends one into center field, and a quick single for the Tigers.
Yeah, Val Cagle, the #1 player in D1 softball, listed in the preseason, was the player of the year in the country last year. Preseason selection for pitcher of the year and player of the year in the ACC. Now in their 5th season with the Tigers. Does it both at the plate and in the circle.
When Cagle hits a home run and pitches in a game, the Tigers are 29-4. She's had 1 loss in each of those years. Is now Cagle and Clark take a base on the high pitch from Elkins.
Yeah, a couple miscues here early for the Niners. The hit batter of Clark, and then a wild pitch back to the backstop. Infield coming in to talk to their sophomore Elkins to calm her down. She has seen a tough lineup in Florida State the opening weekend as well, so no stranger to a top 10 team. She's now seeing the #9 Clemson Tigers.
You can tell why so many fans deciding to come out to the Sioux, Clemson and Charlotte alike. The 49ers starting off their season against 4th-ranked Florida State, getting the win there. So a top 10 win, not out of the ordinary, at least since Ashley Chastain took over this program a couple of years ago.
Yeah, 6 so far for the Niners under Chastain, 5 on the road. Only 1 at home against Virginia Tech 2 seasons ago. But 1 already this year, and then 3 last year on the road for the 49ers.
Count 2-1 for Elkins. 2 balls, 1 strike. Julian Noller at the plate. Pops one up behind home. Winters underneath. Gets the out for Charlotte. Just one more to finish this first inning.
Number 28, Maddie Moore.
Yeah, very crucial out there for the Niners on the pop-up behind the plate. As Elkins settled in here after the hit by pitch and the single.
Maddie Moore, one of just 4 righties in the lineup for Clemson, fouls one off on the first pitch of the at-bat.
And Moore batting .227, starting all 8 games, 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 double, and 5 runs driven in.
Has 2 runners on in Cagle and Clark. She hit a grand slam at the beginning of this season, her second of the career. Not a bad way to start off 2024. Five hits this season for the Loomis, California native. Popped up in field, coming in, Tegan Ritchie. The freshman gets underneath it for the first out of this one. Top of the first. 3 outs and no score. Look at Brooke McCubbin as she warms up. A former Georgia Gatorade Player of the Year. Was an ACC Newcomer of the Year just 2 years ago. And we mentioned this Clemson pitching staff, and a lot to live up to when you're a pitcher at Clemson, especially with what Valerie Cagle's done.
Yeah, they've been top 10 in the country 3 straight years in ERA, a sub-2 ERA. They've got pretty much a 3-headed monster in Valerie Cagle, Millie Thompson, and Brooke McCubbin as well. So no easy pitcher to face in the circle if you're a Charlotte 49er.
Leading off, as she has all season long, Abigail Knight, senior transfer student for Charlotte. Hitting .310 on the year. McCubbin brings in a 3-1 record coming into this one. First pitch in for a strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch, a little high, called a strike. Strike 2, and takes a 2-strike lead in the count. McCubbin has only lost twice in the past 2 years. 5-1 record a season ago. One-two pitch to Knight, low in the dirt. Bounces for a ball.
And McCubbin so far on the year, 2.55 ERA, 3-1. 11 innings, has struck out 14 batters. And 13-4 in a career with a 1.78.
And a strikeout for McCubbin. Her first of the day. Brings up Corey Hoffler for Charlotte. But McCubbin gets to work quick.
Yeah, fooled Knight on the off-speed pitch. Outside the zone. Ashley Chastain speaking on this week about playing a veteran squad with a lot of experience in town. Excited to host them. They were last here in 2022. Niners lost that one 5-2. The Tigers are 4-0 all-time against the Charlotte 49ers. Their last matchup last season down in Clemson. Niners lost 9-0.
Hoffler fouls off the 1-0 pitch. Makes it 1-1. Coach Chastain also playing her college softball at the University of South Carolina. Big rivalry with the Clemson Tigers, but Clemson did not have a program. And she was playing from 2009 to 2011. Next pitch, low and away for a ball, 2-1 count. Hoffler started all 9 games this season. McCubbin goes high. And Hoffler leads the count 3-1. (3-1) pitch. Called strike, a full count for the first time today. here at the Sioux. Just 1 out on the strikeout for Abby Knight. 7 hits on the year for Hoffler, and another strikeout for McCubbin today, her second.
Yeah, back-to-back punch-outs for McCubbin, looking good in the circle so far. Early in this bottom of the first, as the Charlotte 49ers trying to get a couple good at-bats going here. Had 9 walks the other day against Boston University, trying to get some base runners on against this very tough Clemson team.
Brings up the catcher, Lexi Winters. Sophomore with the best batting average on this Charlotte team with .391. Gets all of that one, but laces it foul for an 0-2 count. She had a home run against Canisius, already 3 on the year. McCubbin, the 0-2 pitch. Dribbles through short and third. And Winters gets on first base runner of the day for the Niners.
Yeah, first 49er on the season with double-digit hits. Now 10 hits on the season for Lexi Winters, as that average is just creeping up to 400 on the season. And another good bat here behind her in Ariana Rohde, the sophomore from Rhode Island.
Rohde playing first for the Niners this season. Didn't really have a spot in the lineup a year ago. Now having to fill some big shoes. Cassidy Crouppen as it goes over the head of McCubbin into the glove of Moore, and a quick third out for Clemson as we are still scoreless here in Charlotte. Top of the second. It was also against Valerie Cagle, who is the best player in college softball, whether it's pitching or hitting. So nothing to be ashamed of there for Elkins. They get out of the inning unscathed. Brings up Abby Vieira, 250 hitter on the year, aggressive on the first pitch, but fouled out.
Yeah, got a little dicey there for Elkins in the first inning. Tigers had second and third, but 2 pop-ups back-to-back for the 49ers. Helped them get out of the inning scoreless. What a great crowd we have on hand today, Nick. A lot of people in the new stands out in right field.
Another strike in there for Elkins. Had 1 strikeout in the first inning, and Jordan, you mentioned it, the fans out. Clemson and Charlotte alike. It's not too long of a trip for Clemson Tigers. Elkins sends one high, almost over the head of Winters. Good snag from the catcher for a 1-2 count. Vieira has 4 hits on the season, struck out twice. Fouls it down the third base line. Heard some O's, thinking it might be in play, but the count will stay 1 ball, 2 strikes. Get another look at this one, see how close it was to touching that line. And it was right on it. But called foul. Vieira still at home plate. And another one straight to third, slung over by Chansey in time for the first out of the second.
Yeah, umpires for today's game behind home plate, Roger Potts. At first base, Jacob St. John. And at third base, Bobby Martinez.
Now brings up Lindsey Garcia, the second transfer on this Clemson team, coming from Auburn, originally from Coral Springs, Florida. First pitch in from Elkins for a ball, 1-0 count. Garcia started all 8 games in right field for the Tigers. Sends it right towards Elkins, picked up. Hoffler to first for Rohde, another out for Charlotte. 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah, back-to-back ground balls ensued by Elkins in the circle. A lot of veteran leadership in the Niners infield. Corey Hoffler and Ella Chansey.
Coach Chastain saying she was fairly proud of their defense over the weekend. Mentioned it earlier, they split between Boston University those 2 games. They lost both, then won both against Canisius here in Charlotte when they opened their season at the Sioux, at least the home portion of it. Opened the season in Florida against Florida State. Here's the 1-0 pitch.
Yeah, the pitching for the 49ers was great all weekend. Fortunately lost 2-1 to Boston and then 5-0, where a couple of the runs were unearned in the first couple innings. But shut out Canisius 7-0 and won the other game 9-4.
Aaliyah Lungaleo up 2-0 in the count. Make it 3, 3rd ball, no strikes for Elkins. 2 outs and no runners on here in the top of the 2nd. Clear skies in the Queen City. Around 60 degrees, wind not too hard right now. Out off the wall in left field. Lungaleo slides into 2nd, called safe.
Yeah, Knight playing a little shallow there in left field. Scorched off the bat of Lungaleo. Now a runner on with the 9-hole hitter, Ariel Oda, coming up to the dish. Just able to beat the tag by the 2nd baseman, Hoffler.
Brings up Oda, senior from Buford, Georgia. Hitting 300 so far on the young season. First pitch from Elkins outside for a ball. Oda hit her first career homer back in 2022. Did that against another South Carolina school in Furman. Since then has gotten better each and every year. Also had 2 different SportsCenter top 10 plays during her career as Elkins sends in strike 1. Two-one pitch. Sent high towards right field and gone. Oda gets the home run and 2-run score for the Tigers.
Yeah, kind of knew that one was gone right off the bat. The lefty depositing it into the new bleachers out there in right field. Here's the Tigers, a 2-0 lead. We'll get right under it. Nice lefty swing. And the Tigers strike first.
First home run of the season for Ariel Oda, as Charlotte's defense talks things over in the circle with Elkins. There's Winters there. So an early, calling it safe.
Yes, after
Call on the field does stand.
Length of review, 2-0 Clemson. For a long review. Umpires went to the replay room and call on the field stands. And Niners almost caught a break there.
Would have been a 3rd out. Gotten them out of the top of the 2nd, but instead a 2-0 lead for the Tigers. And now Coach Chastain having a chat with our home plate umpire, Roger Potts.
Ashley Chastain talking all in the offseason about the matchups, bringing certain pitchers for certain matchups. Very deep pitching roster with 7 on the roster. All getting time so far early on in the season.
And it looks like That's going to be it for Lena Elkins.
It's going to be Brooke Bowling taking over here for Elkins, the redshirt sophomore out of Stem, North Carolina. Has seen some action so far on the year. Pitched extremely well against Florida A&M. Down in the Joanne Graff Invitational.
Back to the action here at the Sioux. Brooke Bowling in for Charlotte. Low and away for ball one. We did get an announcement saying that Charlotte is not doesn't have a challenge taken away due to technical difficulties with the video on that review. 2 balls for a 2-0 count. Bowling, just a redshirt sophomore. Pitched 4 innings a season ago against St. John's. That's the most she's had consecutive in her career. Now coming in facing the top of the lineup once again for Clemson is Alex Brown, the junior from Savannah, Georgia. Back at the plate. And a walk for Bowling on that first at bat.
Yeah, Brown striking out in her first plate appearance, but getting on here in the second. Now Mackenzie Clark to the plate, being hit by a pitch in her first at bat, so a tough part of the order for the Niners to get through. They do have 2 outs, but trail 2-0 with the 2-run home run from Oda.
Clark got hit in the right toe to get to first base in her last at bat. Two outs and a runner on first for Clemson. 0-1 pitch here from Bowling.
Yeah, Clark, an extremely tough bat to get through here. 333 so far in the year. 7 runs, 8 hits, 5 ribbies. It's a 340 hitter in her career. It's 152 runs and just shy of 200 career hits. 4-year starter from Florida.
A lot of Georgia and Florida on this Clemson roster. Something you see a lot in the Southeast. 2 big states in softball and baseball. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Bowling. Goes towards Hoffler at second, just needs 1. Gets it to Rohde in time, and finally the top of the second ends for the Niners. Bats back in hand when we come back here in Charlotte. For Charlotte.
Yeah, it'll be 5, 6, 7 due up for the Niners and Garrett, Chansey, and Washington. Looking to get something going here, especially with the middle of the order coming back up for the Tigers in the 3rd. Coming looking good in the first inning. Struck out 2, only gave up 1 single.
First pitch in at the knees for a ball. Here's the 1-0 pitch, low in the dirt. McCubbin goes behind, 2-0 in the count.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, the home run against Canisius. Kai Garrett hitting a grand slam, her 2nd career grand slam.
2-0 pitch, fouled off by Garrett. Hitting 267 on the year, has seen action in 8 games this year of the 9 that Charlotte's played, but started just 4, making her 5th start today. Grounds 1 towards 3rd, thrown over. Brown gets it to Cagle, and first out of the 2nd inning for Clemson.
Yeah, tough play there for the 3rd baseman. Nice scoop by Brown on the chop of the 3rd. Easy target to first. Aaron Val Cagle.
Brings up Ella Chansey, junior for the 49ers. Fouls one off just outside the 3rd base line. Played at Madison County High School and has been a staple in the lineup since she was a freshman. Started 58 games a year ago for Coach Chastain. 0-1 pitch from McCubbin, held off, and strike 2.
Yeah, Chansey looking to get going here in her junior season. 4 hits and 23 at-bats, 2 runs scored, 1 triple and 2 ribbies. Set the freshman record in her 2 seasons ago, 11 home runs and 38 runs driven in. Hit 9 home runs last year. Still looking for her first long tripper of the year. Named a top 10 third baseman in the country.
Racked up the accolades back in 2022, being an extra inning softball all-freshman team selection. Gets the first ball of the at-bat, a 1-2 count. 1 out, no runners on for Charlotte. McCubbin, swing and a miss, and a 3rd strikeout for McCubbin.
Yeah, 2 up, 2 down so far in this inning for McCubbin. Tough bat here in Ashley, Washington, the senior out of Lauderhill, Florida. Only making her 5th start so far on the year. 2 hits and 13 at-bats. 10 home runs, a career high last season as a junior. Had about 100 more at-bats in her junior season, as opposed to only a handful in her freshman and sophomore years.
Really grown into a leadership role on this Charlotte team for Ashley Washington. You mentioned it, 10 home runs a year ago. Didn't have one as a freshman or a sophomore. And just boom, 10 in 2023. It seems like everything just went right for the 49ers a year ago. Conference USA regular season champs.
Yeah, set a program record, 70+ home runs. Under assistant coach Taylor White, who's now with the Blue Devils. Katie Browder joining the 49ers staff, coming over from Ole Miss. Previously worked with Ashley Chastain and Jody Davidson.
And McCubbin walks her first batter of the day. Ashley Washington shows the patience and puts a runner on for the Niners.
And Tegan Ritchie getting the nod at short today. And battling it out with Savannah Wynn. To be her 6th start of the year, 3 hits and 15 at-bats, 1 run and 1 run driven in. Has worked 3 walks as well. Here's a freshman from West Stanley High School.
Holds the home run record there with 18 in a season. Ritchie goes to left field, gets in the line. Ritchie slows up. And it was confusion on both sides as Clemson defense felt it was in for a moment there as well. Here's the replay. An unfortunate placement of the third base coach where that ball drops. Can't quite see it. Looks like it dropped.
Yeah, Jody Davidson standing right. It looked like it was clearly in the field of play. Ritchie herself was rounding first base with her hands in the air. Very confused.
And obviously we thought it was fair.
Yeah, maybe a little tough with the shadows. Roger Potts having to come down the line there. You got some shadows down in left field. Another replay here at the Sioux.
And here's Ritchie going back to take her spot at second. Looks like we're gonna have another review. Getting another angle here. And from that one, it looks like that's a fair ball.
Yeah, a little tough to see from this angle, but Jody Davidson, the Charlotte staff, Roger Potts quick on the call.
And it's gonna come right back, called a foul ball. So Tegan Ritchie has to come back to home plate and continue this at bat. Has to be tough for the freshman mentally. Gets a good hit that Should have been an RBI double. Now back going against McCubbin, who throws the first one in the dirt.
Yeah, Richie's still looking for her first collegiate extra base hit. Does have a single. Definitely tough to jump right back in the box with 2 away. Another crucial call not going in the 49ers' favor.
Pops up towards short. Lungaleo right there, and Clemson continues to keep Charlotte scoreless. 2-0 from the Queen City. In that last inning. Valerie Cagle up to bat, the Yorktown, Virginia native, returning for her final season as a Tiger after winning USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year in 2023. Also won the Rawlings Gold Glove Award last season as a pitcher. 1-0 pitch from Bowling. 66-mile-per-hour heat outside for another ball. 2-0 count.
Cagle dominant on the year so far, a .385 average, 6 runs, 10 hits, 3 ribbies, and 2 walks. Boasts a .390 career average.
Bowling in for her first strike. 2-1 count. Cagle trying to be just the second player in NCAA history since Lauren Hager to record 70 pitching wins, 70 home runs. Fouls one off, keeps the count at 1-2. Currently, she's got the pitching win. She's got 80, but has 60 homers, so trying to add on 10 more. Bowling, 1-2 pitch outside, kept in front by Winters. Even things up, 2-2.
Yeah, Cagle is must-watch TV. If you're a fan of the softball world. Clemson playing down the Puerto Verde Challenge a couple weeks ago.
Bowling low again.
Off to a 6-2 start on the year.
And a full count between Bowling and Cagle. 3-2 pitch, fouled off. Going towards the corner. Knight trying to run it down. Couldn't get there in time. Cagle heads back to the batter's box.
Tigers began their season down in Clearwater. Took out Missouri State, won against Indiana, Liberty, and Oregon, and then fell to Missouri 4-1. Back in the win column, 7-0 over Wichita State, 6-4 over UC San Diego. And then coming off an upset loss to Mississippi State, a final score of 6-3.
Clemson outscoring opponents 42-21 coming into this one. Cagle fouls another one off to keep this at-bat alive.
Yeah, Bowling battling here against Cagle, probably the toughest batter she's seen so far in her young career. Cagle just 1 hit away from 250 in her career.
Great opportunity for the redshirt sophomore as she makes the most of it and gets the strikeout, sending Val Cagle back to the dugout.
Not something you see very often there. Val Cagle going down, looking on the pitch. The outside corner. Big punch out for Bowling, giving herself a little bit of confidence here in this third inning.
Her first of today. First full inning of work, 1 walk and 1 strike. Or strikeout, I should say. As Cagle's strikeout brings up Julia Noller, the only underclassman in the lineup for the Clemson Tigers from Fort Myers, Florida. 1-1 pitch from Bowling, high towards the helmet of Noller. Had a pretty good start to her collegiate career as well. 2 homers and 4 RBIs. Had a solo shot in her first at-bat. Just came up ready for the collegiate ranks. High ball from Bowling makes it 2-2. Redshirt sophomore with the 2-2 pitch. Outside, and it was ball 4, so a walk brings Noller there. And a runner on first with 1 out for Charlotte. Maddie Moore, junior from Loomis, California, back at the plate.
Contending at first base is number 6, Julia Baumhart. And at the plate is the second baseman, number 28, Maddie Moore.
Got a pitch runner at first base, Julia Baumhart, a grad student out of Delaware. Pitch running at first.
First pitch in for a ball, 1-0 count to start for Moore. At a 2.64 average and a 5.06 slug percentage a year ago. Sends it towards center field, diving. Mitchell can't get it. Garrett goes to get it in the outfield. Moore at second, coming home for Clemson is Bombard, the pinch runner. Makes it 3-0 Tigers.
Yeah, great effort there by Michaela Mitchell in center field. Got a good jump on it right off, right in front of the lip of the glove. Now a third run for the Tigers. Third extra base hit of the day for Clemson. As Ashley Chastain's talking to the home plate umpire, Roger Potts. See if the 49ers make another pitching change. Nina Elkins getting the start.
Previous plays under review.
And another official review by Coach Chastain.
Could possibly be another runner leaving early. It's the only thing I can think of in this scenario since the 49ers are on the defensive end.
Already the second time we've seen that review today.
First time the 49ers were burned by technical difficulties, so the 49ers weren't able to capitalize on the review earlier.
So now using that review, based on, like you said, the technical difficulties, it's as if that first review never happened. We're not able to see and judge the play.
It's another review, though, with a runner scoring. Second time today a scoring play is under review.
Gonna take another break. When we come back, we should have a decision for you. Clemson up 3-0 to get a quick clarification. And now back to some softball here in Charlotte. Been a little stop and start here.
Three runs on 4 hits now for the Tigers. No runs on 1 hit for the 49ers.
Brings up Abby Verrera from Mission Viejo, California. This year, 4 hits on 16 at-bats. Grounded out in her first appearance in the second inning. Fouled off, making it 0-2 count, giving the lead to Bowling, whose stint has been highlighted by that Val Cagle strikeout. But still 1 out, a runner scored, and a runner in scoring position, and a swing and a miss as Bowling extends Vieira for another strikeout.
Yeah, second punch out of the inning for Brooke Bowling. And Vieira to chase on the outside corner, outside the zone. Now 2 outs for the Niners with a runner in scoring position, trying to keep this at a 3-0 game and get their lineup back to the plate. It's not an easy task this weekend either. The Niners will head down to the Gamecock Invitational and take on James Madison, South Alabama, and number 18 ranked South Carolina.
Pitch in to Lindsey Garcia. She lets it go by. 1-0 count. Coral Springs, Florida native. Mentioned she coming in using her graduate year at Clemson, coming from Auburn. 1-0 pitch outside for a 2-0 count. Bowling looking for that third and final out to get out of the top of the third inning.
Not really.
2-0 pitch high and a walk, so it was 3-0 there, having some difficulty getting the count from the umpire.
The shortstop, number 16, Leo Lungaleo.
Runners on first and second with 2 outs.
A little bit of a back and forth inning in the circle for Bowling, a strikeout, a walk, and give up the RBI double. Strikeout and another walk. So still trying to find command.
Lungaleo back up to bat. She scored on that home run by Oda, who's on deck for the Tigers. Had a double that bounced off the wall in the second inning. Winters having a chat there with Bowling. Her last win coming against Florida A&M earlier this season, getting that one on February 10th, the opening weekend of college softball. 2 balls, no strikes. Charlotte just needs 1 more out. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Lungaleo gets all of it, but over the Charlotte dugout and out of play for a foul ball.
Clemson trying to extend their 3-0 lead in this third inning. Bowling will work back in the count.
2-1 pitch. Just inside. Lungaleo working the count to 3-1.
Yeah, Brooke McCubben's been in that dugout for quite a long time here, Nick. It's been a long top of the third for the 49ers in the field and in the circle.
Between the hits and also a couple walks, and now bases loaded for Brooke Bowling. 2 outs, just needs 1 more to keep damage control. Getting talked up from her catcher, Lexi Winters, just a sophomore, but inheriting a huge leadership role as Oda comes up to bat. She homered in the second inning to get the 2-0 lead for the Tigers. Bowling starts out with strike 1.
Yeah, big danger spot here for Charlotte, the way their offense has been struggling, dating back to last weekend against Boston and Canisius. Very tough to get in a hole against the number 9 Clemson team with a ton of arms at their disposal.
A real deep Tigers team. You mentioned a group that's been together since 2020 when the program initially started. Two-one count. Pitch from Bowling. Outside for a third ball. As Oda leads it 3-1, and Bowling struggling to find the strike zone here. Walked Lungaleo to load the bases. Here's the 3-1 pitch. High, and another walk. A runner comes in for Clemson and more. And now back to the top of the lineup for the Tigers. Alex Brown up to bat for the third time today here in the top of the third inning.
Fourth walk of the inning issued by Bowling.
Bruh.
And it looks like we're gonna have another change here in this top of the third. Ashley Chastain talking to the home plate umpire, Roger Potts. See if the 49ers use their third arm of the afternoon. Still haven't seen Sam Goresh yet today. Georgiana barefoot. Pitched significant innings so far early on the season.
Started the day with the sophomore Lena Elkins, who was coming off a fantastic outing against Canisius, threw a no-hitter. Then you move to the redshirt sophomore in Brooke Bowling. This year, 1.35 ERA. Last season, posted a 4-2 record with 8 starts, 14 appearances. Now coming in to get Charlotte out of a tough situation.
Yeah, barefoot, a great arm coming over from Campbell just a season ago. Was dominant with the Campbell Camels.
Brown goes up the middle. She'll bring one home, a second in time, and now taking an extra base. After the throw, misses Winters, backed up by Barefoot.
Yeah, tough play for the shortstop. Took a tough hop up the middle.
The center fielder, number 7.
As it looked like Rhodey tried to cut it off, maybe lost it in the shadows. Bounced past her and the catcher Winters. Now 6-0 lead for the Tigers.
6-0, runners on second and third. Bringing up Clark, Barefoot in for strike one.
Second time on base for Brown. Walked in the second, now an RBI single. Another tough spot here for the Niners. Down 6 runs and now to the top, or the meat of the order, at least in Mackenzie Clark and Valerie Cagle waiting on deck. This inning began with Cagle getting struck out by Bowling looking.
0-2 pitch. High foul ball. Had the distance to go yard, but just outside that foul pole.
Tigers are 2 for 4 at the plate with 2 outs.
0-2 pitch and a strikeout for Barefoot to get Charlotte out of the inning. A 6-0 lead for still in the circle. This program starting back in 2020. 155 wins already through 200 games for this Tigers program. Really opens things up with the 6-0 lead off the Alex Brown 2 RBI single. Kayla Mitchell up to bat. 0-1 pitch from McCubbin, finds the strike zone once again. 2 strikes, no balls.
And Niners still trying to get through the order. It'll be 9-1-2, Mitchell, Knight, and Hoffler in the spot of the third.
0-2 pitch from McCubbin, fouled back.
Only one hit so far on the day for the 49ers. Alexi Winter's single in the first. McCubbin so far has pitched 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts.
Fouled off again by Mitchell, the senior from Summerfield, North Carolina. Transfer from now within the American at UAB. McCubbin low and outside for the first ball of the at-bat. Now 40 pitches.
When you play college ball, they give you money to buy bats. Every single
0-2 pitch from McCubbin. Mitchell continues to stay alive, but being aggressive. Another foul ball off the tip of the bat. McCubbin, 4 appearances on the year, 14 strikeouts. 14 strikeouts in 11 innings pitched. Season ago had 77 on the season. Mitchell grounds one to left field and a single with no outs here in the bottom of the 3rd for Charlotte.
Yeah, for the Niners, you string a couple base runners together here. Try and claw back at this 6-0 lead. They did pad their schedule this season, 4th toughest in the country last year. Have still yet to play number 6 Duke, number 15 Kentucky, number 18 South Carolina, number 21 Virginia Tech. Already played Florida State, who was 4, now 11. And then also just finished up a series against Boston University this past weekend, who's received votes. So very tough schedule for the Niners, not a spot to hang your head. Just trying to play tough opponents, getting ready for their first conference season in the American.
Mitchell goes on the possible rogue pitch, but good job by Vieira. The catcher behind home plate pops it up to herself. And just almost in time, Mitchell gets there. The tag just a little late from Moore.
Have a pitching visit in the circle. Pitching coach out with McCubbin. It's the first runner the Niners have had in scoring position on the day so far. Left 2 on base. Winners reached on a single. Washington reached on a walk in the 2nd. But back at the top of the order in Abby Knight, who struck out in her first plate appearance.
Swing and a miss from Knight. Makes it a 2-1 count with the runner in scoring position, as you stated, Jordan. Caleb Mitchell on 2nd, no outs yet in this inning. Fouled off by Knight. Knight played at Boston College. Utility for them for many years, as goes straight to Cagle at first base. An easy tag and a first out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Bringing up Corey Hoffler for the Niners.
And Mitchell able to move into 3rd on the ground ball to 1st. Cagle making a stab at it, tagging the bag herself. Trying to get on the board for the first time today. Got a runner 60 feet away in Mitchell.
"27 games at home this year for Charlotte," as McCubbin gets the first strike, a 1-1 count. 65 and 28. Coming into this season here at the Sioux. Hoffler, big cut, fouled behind home plate. Makes it a 1-2 count.
Although Clemson does have the 6-0 lead, McCubbin with 51 pitches here, only 2 1/3.
Hoffler fouls it off her foot. Niners facing their second-ranked opponent of the year in 9th-ranked Clemson. A season ago, we talked about all the history they made in 2023. Niners defeated 3 ranked opponents. It's the most in a single season by any team in Charlotte Athletics history. Here's the 2-2 pitch from McCubbin. Hoffler sends it high towards center. Clark gets underneath, trying to get the runner. Mitchell in time to put the Niners on the board.
Sac fly off the bat of Corey Hoffler. A 5-run game now, but if you're the Niners just trying to get a couple across here, it's still only the 3rd inning. You've got the middle of your order coming up in winners, Rhodey and Garrett. First RBI on the season for Corey Hoffler.
Winters grounds one towards short. The throw from Longaleo to Cagle in time. A 6-1 lead. That's the 3rd. Foot back in the circle. 3rd pitcher the Niners have sent in on the day. Lena Elkins with the start. Brooke Bowling coming in for about an inning and a half, and Barefoot getting them out of the 3rd. Brings up Val Cagle, who struck out in her last at-bat. Bowling doing the dirty work there. 1-0 pitch outside to make it a 1-1 count. Just grazes home plate. 2 runs in the 2nd inning and 4 in the 3rd. How we got here. Bottom of the 3rd, Charlotte answered with Michaela Mitchell coming home on the sac fly from Corey Hoffler. 2-1 pitch outside from Barefoot. Makes it a 3-1 count, throwing away from Cagle. We know the damage she can do. Cagle takes a hack at it. Fouled off towards the Charlotte dugout.
And the walk's really plaguing the Niners in that 3rd inning. Elkins started 1 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 strikeout. And Bowling 1 inning, 1 hit, 4 runs, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts.
Sends one towards 3rd. Chansey bobbles, holds off. And Cagle reaches on what could be an error for Charlotte and Ella Chansey. We'll have to see how it goes in.
Yeah, tough play off the bat of a lefty for Chansey at 3rd. Wait for the official scoring as Cagle's going to get lifted for a pitch runner. Chansey tried to make a stab at it, just bounced right out of her glove over at the hot corner. Pitch runner at first base in Kendi Ariel, freshman from Cumming, Georgia, South Forsyth High School. Now back to the cleanup spot in Julia Noller. Popped up in the 1st, walked in the 3rd inning.
Noller had about as good of a start as you could have to a college softball career. Led off her career with that solo home run in her first at-bat. Same game, had another one with a 2-run homer, 4 RBIs in that game. Finished the weekend with a .438 batting average. Pops one to center field. Mitchell runs up to get under it. Sends the freshman back to the dugout. 1 out and 1 runner on.
Now batting the 2nd baseman, number 28, Maddie Moore.
Here in the top of the 4th inning, bringing up Maddie Moore. Righty junior, 1 of 2 on the day. High from Barefoot for ball 1.
We're getting the insurance rally going in that 4th inning. The RBI double off of Bowling.
Bobbles chance, he gets it to first.
Looks like it's gonna be a foul ball. It went up right off the foot or off the plate.
Bounces off, it looks like it went foul before Chancey got to it right when that initial contact. And now Moore sends it high towards right field, waiting for the bounce. It doesn't come. A 2-run homer for Matty Moore puts the Tigers up 8-1.
Yeah, Clemson's offense getting going here against the Niners in this midweek matchup. Very similar to the game they played last season. And Clemson run-ruled Charlotte 5 innings. Going opposite field, giving Clemson the 8-1 lead. Charlotte just hasn't been able to look back since that 3rd inning began.
Barefoot gives up her first homer of the game, the 2nd in total. First one was Lena Elkins. Giving up one to Oda, sent to right field. Tigers a very strong team this year. One they'll be seeing late in this postseason, most likely. Team that has high expectations in the ACC, obviously with Cagle, preseason player of the year.
Pinch hitting for the Tigers is number 3, Kylie Johnson.
Pinch hitter comes in, and Kylie Johnson for the Tigers. Freshman getting a look in her 10th at-bat of her first season. In the orange and purple, first strike from Barefoot. Strike 1 in the count, 0-1 count, no runners on, and 1 out. Bases cleared by Matty Moore.
Johnson, a great collegiate career. Broke 7 single-season records in the 2022 season at Wiregrass Ranch. Batting average, hits, runs, triples, home runs, slugging percentage, as well as on-base percentage. And holds 2 career records at the school, 14 home runs and a whopping 16 triples.
Barefoot lone away for ball 2, 2-2 count. Final year of college softball was a Big South second team selection. Popped high by Johnson. Hoffler under it at second for out number 2 of the inning.
Now batting is the right fielder, number 5, Lindsey Garcia.
Lindsey Garcia, 7th in the lineup for the Tigers today. One of 4 seniors still in the lineup as Coach John Rittman starts to change things up with the 8-1 lead. Barefoot sends in strike 2.
Garcia grounding out in the 2nd, worked a walk in the 3rd inning.
0-2 pitch down in the dirt for ball 1. Barefoot with just 1 strikeout today. 5th batter faced here against Garcia. 1-2 pitch. Grounded foul outside the 3rd base line. Had a career high 45 hits a year ago. Fouled back once again by the grad senior. One-two pitch and a strikeout. Second of the day for Barefoot. And middle of the fourth, Charlotte. Currently 8-1 ball game with Clemson up by 7. Some really good hitting here for the Tigers. And the difference right now, 94 pitches in total for Charlotte, 55 for the Tigers. Also 2 errors for the Niners, making a difference with Ariana Rhodey up to bat.
Yeah, Clemson just hasn't taken their foot off the gas. 2 runs in the second, 4 in the third, and then adding 2 more in that fourth inning. 8 runs on 6 hits for the Tigers, only 1 run on 2 hits for the 49ers.
1-1 pitch to Rhodey. Pops it high behind home plate. Foul ball for a 1-2 count. Rhodey, a sophomore from Cranston, Rhode Island. Electing to follow the warm weather south for her collegiate career. Bringing some experience from her freshman year, played in 36 games. Laces one towards right field, but drops outside the foul line. Keeps the count at 1-2.
Yeah, Rhodey's statistically the second best hitter so far on the season behind Lexi Winters. With the sophomore Staples in the 3 and 4 spot. Last few games for the 49ers.
Rhodey didn't go, and Jordan, this Charlotte team really looking for someone to step up, or a couple hitters to step up on the offensive end this year with what they lost a year ago.
Yes, they're playing a very tough team here in Clemson, but the offense couldn't get going against Boston, a 2-1 loss, a 5-0 loss. Canisius, it was more in bunches rather than consistent throughout the game. You've got a lot of veterans on this team in Chansey.
As Rhodey gets all of that one out of the park, a solo shot to left. Makes it an 8-2 ball game. Rhodey touches them all.
Holy cow, Nick, that ball was absolutely scorched to Phillips Road. Rhodey leaves the park. We talked about her offense. And she's been dominant so far to start this season. Couldn't even quite see from our angle where that ball landed. Tattooed that ball off of McCubbin. 6-run lead now for the Tigers.
Charlotte chipping away. Kai Garrett back up to the plate. 0 for 1 on the day, batting .250 on the season.
Three home runs now on the year for Rhodey. That's tied for the team lead with Lexi Winters.
.0-2 count. McCubbin been solid. That home run, really the first major blemish on today's 13 batters faced up to this point. Grounded right towards McCubbin, who slings it to first for the first out of the bottom of the 4th inning.
It's a ton of power on this team as well, Nick. It's just getting the runners on base, being able to produce with people on base. Got a bunch of double-digit potential home run hitters. with winners Rhodey, Garrett, Chansey, Washington, and even potentially Richie when she gets her college career going.
One-oh pitch to Chansey. Lets it by for strike one. 1-1 count. Charlotte now with 7 home runs on the year. McCubbin sends one in the dirt. Second ball of the at-bat. 2-1 count. 1 out, no runners on. That was a solo shot from Rhodey to make it 8-2. Oh, in the dirt again from McCubbin. A 3-1 count. Could see the mental aspect of being a pitcher come into play. Gave up that home run. Had 3 strikeouts and 1 walk. Up to that point through 3 innings of action for McCubbin. First home run she's allowed of this young season. Full count, 3-2 pitch. Chansey lays off and takes her base. McCubbin with her second walk of the day.
Now batting for the Niners is number 19, Ashley Washington.
And Chansey's been struggling to start the season, but sometimes it's nice just to get on base via the walk. Walks are just as good as hits. Now Washington at the plate for the Niners.
Washington, a bat that Coach Chastain would love to see get hot. 10 home runs a year ago, was first team All-Conference USA. Early in this season, batting 154. Cubbin and Vieira having a discussion in the circle. Not the way they wanted to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-0 pitch here to Washington. Pops one high, staying in the infield as Brown gets under it for a second out of the inning.
Now batting for Charlotte is the shortstop, number 33,
Tegan Ritchie, the freshman, only freshman in the starting lineup for Coach Chastain. Comes up to the plate, 0 for 1 on the day. 3 Niners now with hits. And Winters, Rhodey, and Mitchell. Mitchell on deck for Charlotte. First pitch in from McCubbin, a strike, 0-1 count. 8-2 lead for Clemson. Second pitch, strike 2. Leads Ritchie in the count. Clemson coming off close one, lost to Mississippi State, and a strikeout looking. Ritchie heads back. McCubbin adds on to lead for the 9th ranked Tigers. Now back up to the plate.
Following the conclusion of this game, the Tigers will host the Clemson Classic as they'll take on Ole Miss, Miami of Ohio, and UConn. And then they'll head on the road to take on Georgia, a top 5 team, in their first ACC matchup of the season against the North Carolina State Wolfpack.
Aaliyah Lungaleo back up, had a double in the 2nd inning, then a walk in the 3rd. Fouls one off towards the Charlotte dugout. Evens the count at 2-2. Barefoot doesn't need all of that 20-second pitch clock. Has a consistent routine. You'll notice takes her about 10 seconds to throw that pitch as she gets her third strikeout of the day and sends Lungaleo back to the dugout.
Batting for Clemson, the left fielder, number 24, Ariel Oda.
Yeah, Barefoots looked really good in relief this season for the Niners. Did give up that home run to Maddie Moore, but back-to-back punch-outs for the Wake Forest native. They are high school ball at Heritage High School in the Raleigh area.
Oda had the two-run homer earlier to start the scoring. Made it 2-0 in the top of the second inning. It was those two and then a 4-run third and a 2-run fourth that made it 8-2 here in Charlotte. Barefoot outside for a second ball.
Outside of Vieira in this Tigers lineup, every Tiger has made it on base in some way today.
2-1 pitch. Grazes the outside for a strike. Evens up at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no runners on with just 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. 2-2 pitch. Dribbles towards third. Chancey's there. Over to Rhodey for a second out of the inning. Lungaleo and Oda, 2 hitters that have done some damage against Charlotte today, and Barefoot retires them both back-to-back.
Yeah, the first time they've both been retired today, a double and a walk for Lungaleo, and then a home run and a walk for Oda. Back to the top of the order in Alex Brown. Struck out in the first, walked in the second, and an RBI single in the 3rd inning. Clemson's got him. This will be the 4th time through their order. Only in the top of the 5th. They've got 8 runs on 6 hits. They've left 5 on base. Niners with 2 runs on 3 hits and 2 errors as well.
It's been a great offensive outing from the Tigers as it dribbles towards Hoffler off the glove of Barefoot. And Charlotte gets the 3rd out. Keeps this one going.
Tigers. Charlotte able to add a run on the Ari Rhodey home run in the 4th inning. It'll be 9-1-2 due up. Michaela Mitchell, Abby Knight, and Corey Hoffler for the 49ers in this bottom of the 5th. And we've got a pitching change for the Clemson Tigers. It'll be number 19, Reagan Spencer, taking over in the circle for Clemson. Senior out of Lexington, North Carolina. Only 7 innings on the year so far. 4 punch-outs, a 1.29 ERA in her career, 17-2 overall. As
And a
Mitchell
quick
lines
out
out to
there.
first.
Quick out
Well, brings up the left fielder for the Niners, number 22,
with Mitchell
Abigail.
sending it right to Cagle at first. Quick 1 up, 1 down. Here's another look at it. Just right before it drops to the dirt for a foul ball. Cagle gets under it. And excuse me, that's Noller as the lineup starts to switch for the Tigers. So now the freshman moving to first. Spencer now pitching. Oda, Clark, Garcia left to right in the outfield. Knight goes to short. Lungaleo picks it up, but falls back and can't make the throw. Knight safe at first for Charlotte.
Yeah, Knight's got on base in 8 first 9 games. Now on base again for the 49ers. Get something going here in these later innings. It's the senior Spencer. He's appeared in 4 games so far on the year and has not given up a run.
Hoffler fouls off her first pitch of 3rd at-bat of the day. 233 average on the year, 333 slug. Struck out once in this young 2024 season, a 1-1 count. 1 out and a runner on first in Knight, the transfer from Boston College. 1-1 pitch from Spencer, outside for a ball.
The Niners have a lot of power coming to the plate in Lexi Winters and Ariana Rhodey, both with 3 home runs on the year. Be a great spot for Hoffler to get on, to bring that middle of the order to the plate and try and cut this deficit in half.
Hoffler with 7 hits on the year. Strike 2, fills up the count, 3-2. Some Charlotte fans didn't really agree, but Potts makes the call. Just outside, a walk. First of the day for Spencer, new to the game here in the 5th inning, coming in for McCubbin. That moves Knight to second. And 2 runners on for Charlotte, with just 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. A good opportunity, Jordan, to get back in this one.
Yeah, back-to-back good at-bats for Hoffler. Drove in a run on a sac fly in the 3rd, now working a walk. After the line out to first, Charlotte able to get a base knock from Abby Knight, now a walk to Hoffler. And Lexi Winters, as we just talked about, 3 home runs on the year, leading the team in average. Has double-digit hits, has an opportunity to claw back for the 49ers in this bottom of the 5th. And if you're Spencer, another tough bat in the on-deck circle, and Ariana Rhodey.
Grounds towards short. Going to 3rd is Lungaleo, does it in time to get Knight. So 2nd out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Hoffler moves to 2nd, Winter safe at 1st on a fielder's choice. And Ariana Rhodey had a solo shot to left. A little bit ago, back at the plate for Charlotte.
Yeah, Rhodey's last plate appearance, blasting a home run over the left field wall, giving Charlotte their 2nd run of the day, her 3rd home run of the season. A sophomore from Cranston, Rhode Island.
Spencer's pitch low in the dirt. 1-1 count. 6-run lead for the 9th-ranked Tigers. 1-1 pitch. Gets the inside of the plate for strike 2. There's Hoffler on 2nd. So 1 runner in scoring position. 1-2 pitch from Spencer, low and inside. 2nd ball, evens the count at 2-2.
Charlotte not with the numbers they'd like with runners on. They're 0 for 6 on the day with runners in scoring position. 0 for 2 and 1 for 5 with 2 outs.
And a strikeout looking. Spencer gets Clemson out of the inning. Sends Ariana Rhodey back looking. And now to the top of the 6th inning. Still a 6-run lead here for Clemson, with Gigi Barefoot in the circle for Charlotte. Been a little cleaner since she's come into the circle.
Yeah, it's pitched well here in relief. 2 1/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, only 1 of them earned, 3 strikeouts, and no walks. Walks the Achilles heel for the 49ers in that 3rd inning, where they gave up 4 runs. Clark now at the plate, a 308 average on the year, hit by a pitch in the 1st, grounded out in the 2nd, and then struck out in the 3rd inning.
Foul ball by Clark, just outside that 3rd base line. Heads back to the batter's box. Bowling getting those 4 earned runs in the 3rd inning with 5 walks. It's been Elkins, Bowling, and Barefoot pitching today for Charlotte. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Barefoot, high and outside for a ball, 3-1 count. Barefoot, the transfer from Campbell. Popped up, and first out of the inning as Chansey gets under the high fly ball from Clark.
Now batting for Clemson is the designated player number 72, Valerie Cagle.
Valerie Cagle wasn't at first, but now DP for Clemson. Slipping into that double designated player role.
The Niners limiting Cagle so far at the plate. Single in the first, struck out looking in the third. And a tough ground ball to third base. Back in the fourth inning. So looking for career hit number 250, now sitting at 249. Incredible two-way player hailing from Virginia.
Barefoot walking Cagle. Sends her to first, just one out.
The first baseman, number 12, Julia Noller.
Now Julian Noller, who came in at first base, the freshman. Yet to get a hit today. Pops one high. Chansey going back to get it. Can't get to it in time. A foul ball, a 1 count. Noller, her first year playing college softball, adds on a hit to her career stats. Leads this Clemson team with 3 home runs and 12 RBIs. And it's almost like you're looking at one of the best players in college softball on her way out. And now they have Noller as a freshman who is going to get so much from playing with Cagle and also the experience you get getting time as a freshman. First pitch, a ball, followed tip tie up towards center field. Mitchell underneath, Ritchie on the cutoff to keep Cagle at second. 2 outs now here in the top of the 6th. 2 runners on with Noller on first, Cagle on second.
Stepping in for Clemson is number 4, Abby Vieira.
Abby Vieira, catcher for the Tigers, up to the plate. Popped up, Chansey nearly gets to it around the third base line. But fouled for the 0-1 count. Vieira playing at Mission Viejo High School. Missed 13 games a year ago due to injury. Glad to have her fully healthy as goes straight to Rhodey. Gets the tag and the out in the circle after coming in for Brooke McCubbin. Charlotte needing the bats to get hot if they want to overcome this 6-run deficit. Blackwell sends one high towards left field. Way far left for a foul ball from the freshman from Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Yeah, Blackwell this past weekend catching the no-hitter that was thrown by Lena Elkins. Ashley Chastain talking about how great she looks behind the plate, graduating a year early to come join the Charlotte team. She didn't look like a freshman behind the plate, so gave a special shout out to her catcher. Catching that game. Also has 5 ribbies on the year. Had a 2-run single against Canisius to give the Niners a little bit of insurance. So the freshman, both catchers here for the Niners, the sophomore and winners, and the freshman in Blackwell, both making impacts so far early on in the season. That's a luxury to have 2 good defensive catchers with offense as well.
Definitely a good problem to have. And Jordan, you mentioned it didn't look like a freshman. She didn't look like a senior in high school either, which you mentioned she graduated a whole year early to play college softball. Something you don't see too often in college sports in general. and especially in softball. Count fills up 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Blackwell leading off the bottom of the 6th. Sends one high in the infield, just a quick pop. Moore gets under it for the first out. 1 up, 1 down for Spencer and the Clemson Tigers. Brings up Ella Chansey, junior from Athens, Georgia, playing third today. As she does, one of the best third base players in the country coming into this season. Fouls one off for strike 1, 0-1 count.
And Chansey striking out in the 2nd, walking back in the 4th inning. Trying to get her back going here in her junior season after a stellar freshman campaign, and came on late last year in the Durham Regional in the conference tournament for the 49ers offensively.
One pitch from Spencer. Floats in there for strike 2. Makes it a 1-2 count. Chansey, all freshman team for extra innings back in 2022, as well as Conference USA 2nd team, racking up the accolades in her first year. Holds the record for home runs as a freshman with 11 back in 2022. One-two pitch, straight down the middle. Squeaks into the outfield, and Chansey gets a hit and stays at first.
It's a solid AB there for Ella Chansey, getting back to form. Spencer trying to put a glove on it. Get through. Williams came in as a defensive replacement. Now in the batting order. She'll bat in the spot of Ashley Washington. First pitch swing fouls that one down the left field line.
Williams, another freshman, getting some time from Youngsville, North Carolina. 9th at-bat of the year for the young outfielder. Second pitch in for a ball. 1-1 count. A runner on first. And 1 out as Charlotte trying to get back in this one, or at least make it a closer ball game when they get into the bottom of the 7th. Williams pops it high towards right field. Garcia under it for the 2nd out of the inning.
Now batting for Charlotte is the shortstop, number 33,
Tegan Ritchie up to bat. Ella Chansey still on first for the Niners. Ritchie grounds it towards third. Brown to Noller in time for the 3rd out. And we'll head to the top of the 7th. Final inning from Charlotte. Clemson with the lead 8-2 in for the Tigers, with Grace Hiller taking her 3rd at-bat of the game. Appeared in 6 games a season ago in 2023. Getting an opportunity here late in the Queen City. 49ers will still have an opportunity to try and even things up or end it in walk-off fashion. But a 6-run lead right now for the Tigers. Barefoot still in the circle after coming in relief of bowling. Lena Elkins starting this one for Charlotte. 1-1 count to start. Swing and a miss for strike 2 from Barefoot.
Yeah, the Niners have blanked the Tigers in the 5th and the 6th inning. They finish out strong here in the circle.
And a strikeout for Barefoot gives her 4th of the day.
Now pinch hitting for Clemson is number 13, Abby Stewart.
Another pinch hitter for the Tigers, Abby Stewart. Junior for Snow Camp, North Carolina. Turning back to the north for this matchup. 250 on the year and 4 at-bats. Just 1 hit, trying to find her 2nd. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Barefoot, low and away for ball 1.
Yeah, for Ashley Chastain and the coaching staff, although you are down 6 runs, it's got to be great to see Gigi Barefoot look great in relief here once again against a very tough order in this Clemson Tigers order. 3 2/3, 3 hits, only 1 run earned, 1 walk, and 4 punch-outs. Season ERA down to a 1.5.
Be interesting to see what Charlotte does as this season goes on, as trying to learn about this team that's different from a season ago. They made an NCAA tournament. Returns a lot of talent. Popped high towards the Clemson dugout and off the top for a foul ball. Keeps the count at 1-2. But the Charlotte team returning a lot of talent, but mostly in the pitching staff. As far as hitting goes, with 2 big names graduating. Another strikeout there for Barefoot, back-to-back. As another pinch hitter comes in. And Haley Whitesides, another freshman for the Tigers.
Yeah, when you lose Bailey Vanoy, 2nd team All-American. And then Cassie Krupit, arguably it could have been the conference player of the year last year, hitting well over 300. It's tough to replace that with a lot of young players, but the coaching staff has a lot of faith in their team. A lot of good pop in that order. It's just going to come in strides as they play maybe opponents who aren't as tough as maybe a number 9 Clemson, but they'll come in bunches. It's still very early into the season, not even close to conference play yet for the 49ers in their first year in the American.
And if you want to be the best, you got to play against the best. Tough schedule, as you mentioned last year, 4th toughest in the country. Coach Chastain does not shy away from a challenge. Playing Clemson out of the ACC, you mentioned going to the Gamecock Invitational, also starting their season against Florida State. 2-0 pitch for strike 1 of the at-bat, 2-1 count. Ball 3. Whitesides leads the count, 3 balls, 1 strike. And if you're looking at the Clemson Tigers, that's a team that is looking primed to make a run in the ACC and possibly the NCAA tournament.
That picked to finish 2nd, tied with Duke in the ACC. Obviously, we talked about Florida State, now down to 11. The Tigers and the Blue Devils have leapfrogged them in the rankings across the softball world, but a very loaded conference. Virginia Tech in there as well. The Niners will see later on in the season.
That foul ball fills up the count, 3-2. Two outs and no runners on. Barefoot striking out the first 2 at-bats in this inning. And a third. 3 up, 3 down. Jordan Uhas here with you. It's an 8-2 lead for the 9th-ranked Clemson Tigers over Charlotte. Bringing in a new pitcher in Olivia Duncan, a freshman. Only pitched 1 inning so far this season. Starts it out with a strike. Former Georgia Gatorade Player of the Year in 2023. So another Georgia Gatorade Player of the Year on this Clemson roster, and the second pitcher we've seen, with McCubbin also getting that honor and a second strike in.
And Niners go their bench here with a pitch hitter in London Dirks, a sophomore out of Mocksville, North Carolina. And the Niners, they had a little string of, they had back-to-back Gatorade Player of the Year in Pennsylvania.
Dirks pops it towards the gap, coming over. Oda gets the out. 1 up, 1 down for the Tigers.
Yeah, Lexi Wagner, the 2018 Gatorade Player of the Year. And Sam Perez, 2019 Pennsylvania Gatorade Player of the Year. Off the bat, thought that might have gotten down, but back to the top of the order in Abby Knight.
First pitch, called a ball. Knight been on base a couple times today. Struck out in the first inning. Made it to second base off of a single, and then was moved on a walk from Corey Hoffler. 1 for 3 on the day, leads the count 3-0. Duncan, the 3-0 pitch, high, and walks Knight for the first time today. Second trip to first base.
Number 4, Corey Hoffler.
And now Hoffler at the plate. Struck out in the first, sac fly in the third. Walked back in the 5th inning, so the top of the order starting to produce a little bit here for the Niners, finding ways to get on the bases for that middle of the order we've talked about in Winters and Rohde.
Hoffler goes quick off the glove of Noller. And Charlotte with some life. Runners on first and second, Hoffler and Knight. And just 1 out as that brings up Lexi Winters.
A bit of a wicked hop there at first off the dirt. As Noller had trouble with it, replacing Cagle at first. As Cagle switched to the DP.
First pitch in for a strike. See how the freshman Duncan reacts if Charlotte's able to put some pressure on her. Hit high towards center, directly to the Clemson center fielder in Clark, and now 2 outs as we could be at the final batter with Ariana Rohde coming up. Had a home run earlier in this one. Rohde sends it deep towards center field. Another one for Ariana Rohde. And 3 runs are gonna score for Charlotte. Makes it an 8-5 ball game.
Rohde is here to stay in her sophomore season. Got an opportunity in her freshman season to begin the year. But now the everyday first baseman for the 49ers. Her second home run of the day, a no-doubter to straightaway center field into the batter's eye. Now her 4th home run on the season.
Rohde now sole possession of most home runs on the 49ers team. Raina Blackwell on deck as here's another look at that straight shot towards center field. Could it be any more perfectly straight?
The first one, we didn't know where it landed, but that one was quite a shot as well. Rohde with a ton of power. Clark gave it a little bit of an effort there, but didn't quite have a chance.
In the circle for the Tigers is number 72, Valerie Cagle.
We have a pitching change here for the Tigers, trying to record their last out. Down 3 runs, and they go to their ace.
Combining vitamins, probiotics, and whole food.
Originals.
Valerie Cagle in the circle. First pitch low in the dirt for a ball going against the freshman Raina Blackwell. Not surprising to see this after the freshman Olivia Duncan allowed Charlotte to get some life in this game, bring in their veteran, one of, if not the best pitcher in college softball.
A way to welcome Raina Blackwell to college softball. 1 year, graduating 1 year early, and in your first couple of bats to face the toughest arm arguably in the country this season so far. A 1.52 ERA, 2-1 in the circle. It's her 8th appearance. 23 innings, 21 strikeouts, but 739 career strikeouts for Valerie Cagle.
As Blackwell gets some on it, but Garcia near the warning track underneath it for the first out. And Jordan, that'll be all said and done from Charlotte. It's an 8-5 win for the Tigers.
Yeah, Tigers look good overall. They give up that 3-run home run here in the 7th. Burton coming, getting the start. Looked good for the Tigers. Went 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Spencer, 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 punch out. Cagle coming in to shut the door. 8 runs on 7 hits for the Tigers, 5 runs on 7 hits for the Niners. The Niners will be down in the Gamecock Invitational. Clemson will be at home